Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Well, the chaplain of the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services leading a delegation of pastors and stakeholders in a two-day visit to Grand Bahama. The group is expected to meet with local pastors in a town meeting tonight at the First Baptist Church to address issues related to the rehabilitation of offenders. Corrections Chaplain Reverend Dr. William Thompson says the church and community must get on board and help to turn the situation around.
We recognize that the government and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Service cannot act alone. As such, we are saying to all religious and community builders, leaders, and corporate Bahamas to partner with us. So together we can, and together we will, change the lives of the residents for a safer Bahamas.
Reverend Keith Rose says they hope to take this outreach throughout the country. He is inviting pastors of various denominations to attend tonight's meeting and to help make a difference in society.
There are a lot of inmates that come from Freeport. We want to reach out to the churches here so that they can assist us to assist the chaplaincy department so that it can be a lighter burden on the government. The government cannot do everything. We are the citizen of the Bahamas willing to reach out and assist this problem so that these inmates may not be coming back and forth, to provide them spiritual counseling, mental counseling, psychological counseling, and also finance. So that's my mission as being the chairperson, to reach out to the churches here locally.
Now, tomorrow night, a meeting will be held at Kingdom Worship Center on East Atlantic Drive at 6:30 p.m. In other news, a series of workshops has begun for SECME teachers. President of the Northern Bahamas SECME organization says due to the pandemic, they were unable to host the competitions with the schools, prompting them to have workshops for the teachers.
The workshop is for teachers who are part of the Northern Bahamas SECME organization. We train students to do certain things in SECME, which is a branch of STEM, and they include water bottle rocket, mousetrap, dam math, bridge building. There's also an essay competition and robotics.
Now, SECME leader from 8 Mile Rock High School, Yella Pragada, says they are presenting bottle rockets, designs, and construction, which has 3 parts.
We're going to discuss about the guidelines issued by the National Office from Georgia Tech and Kettering University, and followed by we're going to discuss about how to design a bottle rocket by applying all the principles from aerodynamics as well as the Newton's laws and Bernoulli's principle, etc. And after that part, we're going to spend some time to construct actually a bottle rocket as per the guidelines.
Now, the final workshop, Done Math, is scheduled for April 5th at the Hugh Campbell Primary School. While the spouse of a local senator doing her part to meet the needs within her community, Patrice Russell, wife of Senator Kirk Russell and founder of Daughters of Purpose, provided a hot meal for some 150 students at the Lewis Yard Primary School in Hunters. Russell said it was a privilege to sow into the lives of so many young people. She added that it was an overwhelming feeling to see the smiles on the faces of the students as they received their lunch. Daughters of Purpose was formed recently, and Russell said the organization has already conducted several community initiatives, including a massive feeding where hundreds of residents received a hot meal and other giveaways. She said her focus is on assisting those who are less fortunate as she seeks to impact as many lives within the Grand Bahama community as possible. And that does it for this portion of the news. Stay with us to check on sports. Up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. We have quite a few updates with sports right here in Grand Bahama with scores from Bimini basketball. But let's start this one off with volleyball action right here at the St. George's Gymnasium. The University of the Bahamas held volleyball tryouts for female prospects from Grand Bahama at the St. George's Gymnasium. Head coach Raymond Wilson tells us that Grand Bahama has produced some of the very top volleyball players in the country in recent years.
Every year we comes to Grand Bahama because we know that Grand Bahama normally is on par with regards to athletes. So we come here because we figure, apart from New Providence, that Grand Bahama is the next source of talents. So we're here on a recruitment drive, hoping that we can get a few players to increase the asset at University of the Bahamas.
Wilson says he was a little disappointed with the turnout this year, but adds that the two athletes that did show up for the tryouts displayed some good skill sets.
The two girls that came out, they were very skilled. They didn't need much training with regards to the basic skills of the sport. And we find that recently that is one of the major problems at the university. Kids are coming out of high school and they don't have the basic skills. So in me seeing them having the basic skills, it meant that somebody was doing some work with them. And so if they come to the university, then it's less time that the training program has to work with trying to teach them how to carry out the basic necessary skills.
Switching gears now, the CARIFTA Track and Field and Swim Championships is expected to take place during the Easter weekend in Jamaica and Barbados, respectively. The sports unit in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is stepping up once again to assist those teams as they represent the 242.
When these teams will be going, the CARIFTA swim team, along with the track team, whenever they make their voyages to these particular events, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture over the years, and even no exception this year, according to the director, will be helping to ensure that the Bahamian athletes get to the CARIFTA Swim Championships, along with making sure that they arrive in Kingston, Jamaica for the CARIFTA Games that will be held down there this year.
And finally in sports, scores and highlights from the Bimini Youth Basketball League at the Gateway School Gymnasium. In senior boys play, the Bimini Marlins defeated the Eagles 57-32 to win that series 5-3. Leading the way for the Marlins was Derek Francis with 14 points. Paulson Stewart was the high point man for the Eagles with 19 points in the loss. Now, a girls division was recently added to the league. Gateway Eagles got the win over the Marlins 15-18. Nevaeh Sanders gave the Marlins the business as she scored 7 points in a winning effort. For the Marlins, Jalea Rowe scored all 8 points for her team in the loss. That's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.